Right, let me start that again. Hey guys, it's me again. Hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. So in my last video, which I will link up there on how I revise for A-level maths, I told you guys I will be making a revision series. So back with popular demand, I'm here today with how to revise for A-level economics. Now, I'm so excited to film this video because you guys know how much I love economics, as I'm taking it for uni as well. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. But wait, before we get started, don't forget to smash that subscribe button down below to keep up to date with all my videos because I post weekly. Now let's get on with the video. Number 1, use a timetable. If you guys have seen my last video, you know I have already talked about using a timetable. I've gone into a lot more detail about the timetable in that video, so you guys can go ahead and watch that one if you want to know why I use a timetable so much. But basically what I'm trying to say is, if you aren't organised, then you will find it very hard to even revise in the first place because you'll procrastinate and you'll say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week. But when you've got a timetable, you will sit down and say, right, I have to stick to this and I've got to do it. Now, I revise 2 hours a day. This is what I did for my GCSEs and it worked for me. But if you guys prefer 3 hours a day, if you guys prefer 1 hour a day, do what's best for you because everybody is different and everybody is used to revising different amounts. So if you're not used to revising much, then 2 hours might be too much for you. Or if you're used to revising more, then maybe 2 hours isn't enough for you. So it all just depends on what's best for you. But make a timetable and stick to it. Number two, revision guides. I am so excited to say this because I have not said this in 2 years, but CGP revision guides. Oh my god guys, I can't tell you how good this book is. I used this book throughout my whole of year 12 and it really helped me. It goes into quite a bit of detail on the different topics at hand that you need to know. This is a generalised version because CGP don't have one for each exam board, but it does say, like for example, this says these pages are for AQA and OCR only. So unless it says that, then the pages are for most exam boards. But some pages will say these are, like this one says these pages are for all boards. Some will say this is just for AQA, this is just for OCR. But this is really good because at the bottom of each page there is an exam style question, like this one. Every single page has exam style questions. Some are like 25 markers, 15 markers, 9 markers, 4 markers, multiple choice. This book has everything you can think of. So I would definitely recommend this book. I will try and link it in the descriptions down below. Now, moving on to year 13, what I revised with this year is the AQA A-Level Economics book 2. A friend of mine in the year above was selling this book and he told me that he used it and he found it really good. He sold it to me really cheap. So I thought, okay, might as well try it. And honestly, I think it's such a good book. I actually think it's better than the CGP book, only because the amount of detail it goes into is crazy. And the good thing about this is it has like extension material. So if you're aiming for the top grades like me, you should definitely read the extension material, which is in the green. And as well as that, they have case studies that you can read. So in economics, a very important thing is to incorporate context in a lot of your 15 and 25 markers. You need to know a lot about context, and this book has so many case studies, which is ideal to know about the different contexts for each topic. So I really like this book. Obviously they do have questions as well at the end of each topic and every few pages, and so they've got quantitative skills for your math side of economics and they've got the essay based questions as well. This book is so good. I use this for my mock exams and it seems to be working. Obviously this is for AQA, so I would recommend this for people that have AQA. I don't know if it's good for like OCR and the other exam boards, but I'm sure there's an equivalent book for that. If not, the CGP book is great, or you can still get this book because I assume that every exam board sort of has the similar content anyway. But yeah, I would really recommend this book. Oh, I will also try and link this in the comments down below. Number 3, physics and maths tutor. Now for me, multiple choice was my weak subject After I'd realised that my essays were very, very strong, but what was bringing my grade down was my multiple choice, my teacher recommended Physics and Maths Tutor to me. It's such a good website because it has all of the multiple choice past papers from like 10 years ago up until this year, and it's got loads of long answer questions as well, but I mainly used it for my multiple choice, and this brought my multiple choice up drastically, so I did a lot better because of Physics and Maths Tutor. So I would really recommend that. Maybe once every week go through one past multiple choice paper from Physics and Maths Tutor. Every week try and do at least one in the build up towards your mock exams and your exams. Make sure you cover every single one by the time your exam comes around, because you'll realise that a lot of the time they repeat the questions, or they have very, very similar questions. And if you pick up on those patterns, you will realise that, okay, the answer is going to be the same each time. So it just ensures that, you know, you get those little extra few marks. But yeah, Physics and Maths Tutor is so brilliant. I really, really would suggest you use that if, like me, multiple choice is your weakness. Number 4, Seneca. Now, at my school, my teachers gave us all access to this website called Seneca, and I think it's brilliant for solidifying your base knowledge. This makes sure you know the foundation of economics. Seneca is really good in knowing how students learn and how students understand. So for example, once you finish your whole topic, so let's say I finished the labour markets topic on Seneca, I can then save this topic in a location. So you can choose a location to put this in, and that just sort of helps with your memory recall. Obviously, I wouldn't say it's good for developing your knowledge because it makes sure you know the basics, but once you know the basics, you can build on that. Like, if you don't know the basics, how can you build on that? So if you guys don't have access to Seneca already, I would really suggest going to your school and seeing if they can perhaps invest in Seneca, because I'm not sure if it's free or not. If it's free, I'm sure you guys can make accounts, or if you want to like spend money out of your own pocket, cool, like you can do that as well. But I think you should go to your school first, ask them if they can like invest or buy the subscription for the school, because it's a really good tool to have. Number 5. Oh god, my voice has gone croaky as hell. Number 5, teach your friends. Now, I find learning so much more fun when I teach my friends, as well as the fact that I understand concepts so much better when I'm talking to someone else through the concept. So for economics, I actually tutor one of my good friends on a regular basis, and it sort of forces me to make sure I know the topic 100% before I go in and teach him. So for example, if I'm teaching him the law of diminishing returns one week, I make sure that before I go and teach him, I've read up on the chapter, I've revised it so that I go in knowing 100% what I'm talking about. And I think it's a very good way to sort of force yourself to know what you're talking about and understand what you're doing, as well as the fact that when you are talking to someone through what you know and what you understand to make sure they understand it, you end up understanding things so much better. Also with economics, I would say get a whiteboard, because drawing out the diagrams is so helpful in remembering what each diagram is. You guys might be familiar with this diagram. It's the labour wage rate diagram. So if I am teaching my friend about the labour market and about the diagrams, I will draw the diagrams first, I'll rub them off and then get him to draw it. That way, both him and I need to remember what the first diagram was to make sure that the second one that he draws is correct. And that way, both of us are making sure we know this diagram inside and out. So I would really say whiteboards are great, as well as the fact that, oh yeah, when we're going through our 15 and 25 marker essays, we use a whiteboard to plan each point out. And it actually helps so much. Like, I've even asked him and he even said that. So that is my final point. Try and teach your friends, because you will understand things so much better and you will feel a lot better learning with your friends and helping your friends out. So yeah guys, these are my top tips on how I revise for A-level economics. If you guys have got any questions or suggestions, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to leave a huge thumbs up and smash that subscribe button down below to see me weekly. Anyways guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.